Good evening, chefs and chipettes. Roggor here, and welcome back to Baruk-Gunud, the lonely volcano. Last time we got a new robot to replace our lost two of Crichton and Ari. Coincidentally enough, Abel, Crichton's not brother. That's the story I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it. Also, I managed to make up a bug trap via these furnace heater nasty inflamo combo. And yeah, all that blood, that is from a bunch of elf traders who gave us Abel, but then decided to hang around until they all starved to death. Where the blood came from, that was from a Migo attack. And I did the absolute most sensible option, which was jump out the front door, yell Yarbu sucks to you Fritzy, you ugly buggers, ran away as the Migos came to kill me, and let the traders do the fighting for me. Worked out rather well, considering, like I said, they then hung around for ages, and then we cut them all up for their lungs, kidneys, hearts, and I think there's a liver in here somewhere. Also, Nararancha got elected as mayor over Miri, with Diver stepping down completely coincidentally right after a third of the colony got massacred by giant insects from beneath the earth. But I didn't... Once the autosaver's buggered off, I didn't forget one thing which I was planning on doing, which was going to check out the crypt, and I am going to send Nararancha, since he's still the scout. He ain't from Boston, but he might as well be. So, yeah, you know, prove your worth as mayor. Diver's mucked in a hell of a lot. You tend to sleep and cook. Kazat Deban, the original Four Lads' old home, have sent us a message. They want vegetables. They're willing to pay extra, although they want 237 before they pack up and come here. But you know what? Yes. 3 days. Okay, 3 days, and all vegetable stuff is off the table. We got plenty of food. We got pemmican. Yeah, we're good. Because thankfully, since we're in that area... Oh, bloody hell, we got loads of potatoes incoming. 1,000. Since we've got this permanent summer going on, we don't have to worry about not having any food for winter, because winter doesn't exist. And here we are, Nararancha has arrived at the crypt. The jungle crypt. Alrighty then. Huge frickin' graveyard. That's obviously the way in. Well, like I said, Nararancha is just here for a look. Just gonna stick his head in here. Hope it don't get bit off. Granite sealed coffin. Created to preserve and seal vampires of significant power. So it is a crypt, but nobody's home. Hold on, I'm just going to reload the game. Reload my save up and see if I can get Nararancha to go back in and see if that's actually there, or if some weirdery has happened. Okay, this is different. See, look, now we've got an awaken option and there's chains on it, so it looks like... Yeah, here we are. Helena Kofi. Ancient vampire of the underworld, 1,000 years old. Whoa, holy shit, she's fast. Okay, well, I'm not going to... Now I know what's actually going on. I know it's cheap, but I am going to... Because I've already reloaded my save because it glitched the first time around. At least now I know what's in it. It's one with an incredibly nasty vampire in it. So, at least, you know, yeah, it's what I expected. It is what I expected. I just wanted to know. And Nararancha's too bleeding useful to lose. I'm going to make this the only time I do this, but that's only because I had no idea what the crypt actually was. And to be fair, that's what I also did with the mountain stronghold. You know, I just looked and I left. That's what you got to do with new mechanics. You've just got to experiment with them and make sure things don't go totally tits up. Right, well, Nararancha's arrived back. I think with that retcon, I'll just have it so that he just looked inside the crypt, saw the single coffin, got a really, really bad feeling and ran away, rather than actually broke that sodding thing up. Don't worry, I will go back, but by the looks of it, I'm able to awaken it remotely, so I can get a team together, get them in good firing lines, inevitably have Durin right beside the coffin ready to take the brunt of the attack when it gets woken up, and then just go to town. But like I said, what I really, 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 really want is I want thrumbos or dromedaries or something. I need to get some pack animals in so I can get caravans going, because that's by far and away the best way to really do some serious trading, because you don't have to rely on people just turning up and starving themselves to death on your front desert. Well, here come those people wanting to trade for them veggies that we talked about, although apparently, was it this? Store in. Him? No. Damn it, though. Someone had an uncle in there somewhere. Yeah. That happens quite a lot in Rimworld, actually. You quite often find traders and raids often have brothers, uncles, fathers, cousins, dickhead you grew up next door with and couldn't move away from. You know, standard relationship of bullocks. Okay, so we've done the trading with them. They literally just wanted to buy our potatoes. They genuinely did not give a damn about buying anything else from us. So I just took their money and gave them potatoes. But the real question is, are you, tiny little morons, going to hang around until you starve to death so I can hack you up for body parts as well? Normally in Rimworld you have to down raiders, capture them, and then carve up your prisoners into various chunks of spare parts. Yeah, let's go with that. Just had a trade ship pass by, got some interesting delicatessens for a freaking desert, i.e. fish meat. Finally got a dromedary though. So you, I am going to have to train. Obedience. Yes. Annoying, because quite often training animals is basically one guy's full-time job. But you know what? If I just get a herd up and running, even if it takes a while until I can actually train them and use them as pack animals, it's good to have them, because it's been rhinos and gazelles around these parts for quite some time. It seemed like there was a freaking season for those dromedaries initially. Wish I'd caught them. Well, you know what? It's technically still just a cave at the moment. There's miscellaneous blood splatters all over the place. Half of the walls aren't smoothed. Actually, most of them aren't. And we got several rooms not actually constructed yet. But you know what? I am going to open the pub. I damn well am. It's got all our sake in it ready for purchase. I'll just assign these beds to being for visitors, so then visitors will start coming and we can finally open up shop. Now, I had a ton of name ideas, both myself and from you guys down in the comments as well, when I initially revealed plans to build this place. Oh god, there were so many good ones. But to be brutally honest, I quite like pub names which are very, very on the nose. You know, there's not any sort of bullshit. It's not like they're called like the Royal Arms and they're in like a really crappy council estate or anything like that. You know, not any of that. So I just like, pub names which leave nothing to the imagination. So I'm going to go with Farscape's name of The Hole in the Wall, because that is quite literally what it is. So hopefully we should start getting some people visiting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Scottish, who's still our man who has the best gift of the gab. I'm going to have him come and use the communications console and call, it was one of the elf factions who are our closest allies at the moment. I'm going to get him to have a chat with them and see if he can encourage them to come visit. I think that is an option. Yeah, here we go. So actually I think this might be the first time we've seen this. So Goodell, who is apparently the leader of the Woodland Domain guys. So we can, it depends on, it used to be a case of with older versions of Rimworld, you could quite literally buy these options, but now it's goodwill only, which, you know what, I wish there was like an option. You know, you try for the goodwill first, and then if they fail, then you can try and bribe them, but oh well. So we can request immediate military aid, which, you know what, if things turn up bad, you know what, I may do that with these guys. Trade caravan, well, I'm having enough trade caravan problems as is, but invite for a visit. Sending a delegation, 12 days. Yeah, because when you actually have an area where people can come and visit, that automatically starts like a little chance table, I suppose you could call it, whether they turn up or not. It depends on how long it's been since they last visited, or if they visited at all, and what experience they had last time. So they're not going to have a great experience, considering it's literally a hole in the wall with one light bulb, no floor, and basically the only good thing about it is that there is a ton of cheap booze. Holy crap, I really am running a pub on account of the state, aren't I? But basically that's what you can do with this hospitality mod. You can essentially just have a tavern in, or straight up freaking shopping mall if you're going totally bonkers, and just have rotations of allies coming in and having a good time, going home, coming back again, and when they do have a good time, it does increase their faction status with you. It is a win-win. Speaking of win-win, oh, I think these are our visitors already, one of whom is a horrible, horrible demon thing. Okay, but if we open up Guests tab, this is where we control our visitors from. Not directly, but this is how we control them from. So we have accommodation area, so I want them to hang around and sleep in this area. So we have the few little places they can sleep, and we've got the recreation area and the shopping area, and basically what that means is any item which you put on the not on the floor or in storage in the area you designate as the shopping area, they will, it's seemingly at random, it doesn't really seem to operate a reason why, but they will occasionally go up, pick it up, and leave whatever the value of it would be as standard trading on the floor, and you could just pick up the silver and on your way. Now these two here, this is entertain and this is recruit. Now like I said, this can get very, very handy with how to get new colonists, so you don't have to either build them, make them yourself, giggity giggity, or just get lucky and have them randomly fall out of the damn sky. So entertain will mean people who have the negotiate tab here. It's meant to be for diplomats, but really it's for entertaining people in the pub. Basically what happened is whoever you've got designated as having negotiate as being a relatively high priority task, if you've got this selected, they will go and they will chat with that person and, you know, try and make them have a good time. Recruit, obviously, basically what you will want is to really use that, because if you do recruit someone from a faction, it will damage your relationship with them. So basically you want to get someone fairly high before you start trying to recruit them from a faction. And this column here, it just says sort by this column. It doesn't actually say what it is, but what I believe it is, it's the amount of times you need to chat with them before they can have a reasonable chance of being recruited. Well, I'm a complete moron because I've never clicked that button. As you see here on the side, this is the in-depth menu for one of these guys, Welsh guy. So there we are. So see, relationship damage when recruited 65, faction goodwill 84. So now we know enough friends to recruit. So that's what needs to. So basically, enough colonists need to make friends with this guy in order for him to consider coming there in the first place. Yeah. See, and all of them have roughly that. Actually, this one is this is the horrible demon thing. This is the Curathidis, who has vampirism, and it's a 12th generation neonate. I don't know whether high or low generations make a difference, but it seems like the higher the generation thing is with them, the more monstrous they are. So it'd be interesting to have a vampire in the colony, see how that works. But, you know, for the moment, I will simply have them be entertained by the nearest person. God, wait, are these still here? Oh, yeah. Blimey, these are still here? I think if you remember rightly, we've had a few raids and traders come in who have had vampires who have come in either in the middle of the day or during some other stupid time for a vampire to be out and about, and they've done that furious digging thing. Most of the time they simply catch fire and turn to ash, but sometimes they make these odd dirt patches, which I think these still contain vampires from those raids all that time ago. Okay, now they're here for something. Oh, see, and this guy, see, he's already bought some sake for us, from us even. And Gawadahil was just having a quick look-see in here. Okay, kind of cool. Oh, now the horrible monster demon turns up. Where does it want to go? Oh, there we are. Okay, well okay, so let's just check this. Blimey. In the first few minutes, they've already bought 1,000 silvers worth of sake. Fan bleeding-tastic. So they're playing games, having a wander. Oh, damn. Well, there we go. As far as I'm concerned, this has already made its freaking money back. Yeah, Tony, don't freak out when you look to the right. Good girl. So actually, so looking at this, if I start to get, let's see, so this is a group of 5. I've got enough places for them to sleep, which is what they're doing. Really, what I need to do, if I want to get this place, because there will be a limit to how many can come. And I don't know, because sometimes you can invite people to come, or they randomly turn up, and it's just one person. Sometimes it could be large. I think the largest group I ever saw was 12, which is why I've got these 12 beds up here already. But what I do need to do is I need to make more game things for them. Okay, so chest table and some horseshoe pins not put in place, but put down for someone to turn up. Guess, let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. This is I think this is their satisfaction meter. So, not great at the moment. Then again, they are in a hole in the wall. There we are. Scottish is finally doing some schmoozing. Charmed? Okay, so yeah, that's gone up. That's gone up by a bit. Well, it mainly seems to be people being given booze is far, far, far better. Yep, looks like Scottish going around and doing the whole chatting to everyone is actually doing far, far better than the freaking games and accommodation are doing, but still, he's still second fiddle to the incredible amount of booze we got knocking around here. Blimey, these elves have already drunk nearly 100 bottles of this stuff. I suppose living for that long, you got to train your liver well. But what will be interesting will be with this vampire elf here, Shiradis. It says here Vitae. Let's see now. Vampires use 1 blood point to animate their undead bodies from sleeping each day. Low blood can make a vampire unleash its inner beast. Ah, I see. So, in that case, these, where were they? These odd dirt patches might still actually have the vampires in them, you know, in like a state of suspended animation. That would be both interesting and pretty goddamn terrible. And now Nararancha is doing a bit of schmoozing as well. Okay, so it looks like instead of having like a publican whose entire job is just to satisfy the punters, it seems more likely that having a team of people would be a bit better. So so now I know that this is the amount of friends needed in order to join column. Yeah. Actually, hold on. What was that? There was something there I didn't see. Force recruit. Okay. But actually, most of those were pretty damn harsh, though. Yeah, most of the relationship status hits a 65. I mean, elves are pretty damn good, as Nararancha has shown. You know, fast, agile, and till they get religion, they're not complete and total pussies. So it looks like their opinions are, one, overwhelmingly positive for whatever reason. Genuinely no idea. Otherwise, middling to low, so they may or may not turn up. Actually, thinking about it, what I will do is I will get Scottish to get on the blower to another faction I've got middling, some sort of relationship with, which is either middling or not. Let's have a look at the radio. Okay, so it seems if they're neutral, there's a middling chance of whether they'll want to see you or not. But this definitely seems like the best way I can have faction relationships improve without sending out caravans full of gifts. Which I should do, because if my... Actually, let's go back to this, the history tab. I think I mentioned this a while ago. This actually is a direct correlation of how the difficulty is going. As you can see, current wealth is just over 200,000, which is very high. And I don't even have like power armor and miniguns and all of that stuff yet. So that would explain why that infestation was so nasty. I think the next raid, it won't be the last, but it will be a freaking nasty one. Because what can actually happen, and what most of my colonies and fortresses have fallen to, is when basically the items, the things in the fortress mean that the raids and attacks and other nasties are really powerful, and I wind up with only a few colonies left, but the raids and stuff still have loads of people which are heavily armed that they have no chance of fighting back against. So realistically, the only thing you can do is either declare game over or abandon the colony and all of the stuff which you've built. Either way, I'm going to leave our little visit to the Lonely Volcano here. Well, I'm very glad with what we managed to get done, mainly getting the flipping pub actually open and starting to turn a nice profit. A very nice profit indeed. But we'll have to see what happens with all those people we invited next time. Because you never know, they might turn up when some excitement happens, like a raid or an infestation or something. We'll have to see. Either way, for the moment, thank you very much indeed for watching this silly little video of mine. If you enjoyed it, have a little look-see down at the channel, see if there's anything else I've done which takes your fancy. If so, have a little look-see, by all means, my friend. Subscribe if you want to, but most importantly, please, be wonderful to each other. See you next time.